I just talked to the camera for like 15 minutes and I have so much anxiety about doing this again. I forgot to record it. Hello, everyone. My name is Leah. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. If you have been here before, welcome back. It's good to see you again, sorta. I can't see you. Today I wanted to talk about something, and let me just make sure I'm actually recording this time. Okay, I see the timer going up. Um, I wanted to talk about something that is not really as relevant to teachers who are already people who are already teaching online, but more to people who might have some fears about teaching online, particularly those of us who identify as introverts. Um, Honestly, I think that most people who say that they're introverts are lying because I can see you talking to people. How can you be an introvert? Um, and yes, I do talk to my camera a couple of times a week, but I am a painful introvert, and I spend most of my day by myself or with my kids, and that's about as much conversation as I have in a day. So I wanted to reach out to those of you who, like me, put off applying for probably too long because of fears of, having to talk to people in a new environment where you're not comfortable at all. I think being a teacher generally is a particularly difficult profession for introverts because our job is talking to people all day with very few opportunities for breaks. I was lucky as a brick and mortar teacher if I could have my lunch periods to myself because I was having kids in my room all the time for tutoring, or I would have to have meetings with the counselors or other teachers. I never ever ate in the teacher's cafeteria ever. No, that's a lie. One time, I think they had snacks. So I went to the teacher's cafeteria. I was always the teacher that went into the lunchroom, grabbed my lunch from the fridge, and then tried to get out as quickly as I can before I could talk to anyone not because I don't like people. I do like, I mean, I am a bit of a misanthrope. Our job is talking to people all day as teachers, and it's really hard as introverts, whether it's children or our colleagues or parents. Being a brick and mortar teacher can be so emotionally draining. And just because we're teaching online doesn't necessarily make it any better. You're trapped in a classroom for 25 minutes with a student that you have to talk to. You can't avoid them. I mean, you can walk away from your computer, but that risks a teacher no show at worst, maybe a teacher IT if you shut your computer off first. But you're stuck. You're stuck with that student for 25 minutes and you have to talk to them. And for newer teachers, that can be particularly intimidating because not only is this a new environment for you, you've never taught online before, maybe you've Skyped with friends before if you can handle it, but you've never taught online before. So the environment is new. The person you're meeting is a new person. You've never met this child before, even though they are a child. Still they're new people. It's intimidating, but I have a particularly difficult time meeting new students. Even though I've been doing this I'll be on my fourth contract with VIP Kid next month, I still have a hard time every class I have with a new student, sometimes even with students that I've taught for many times before, particularly those extroverted students. I have a couple of them that they're delightful, but like their personality is just, it's too much for me. It's not necessarily high energy students. Not necessarily high energy students, and I'll get to that later. It's just the students who want to talk and ask questions and converse and play, and all I need to do is teach this lesson to you. I just need to teach this lesson to you, and they just want to talk, and I can't tell you about my life. We just gotta get through this. It's hard. So if you have, or if you're meeting a new student, those few seconds or minutes or hours, if it's your first class ever, sitting at your computer and waiting for them to come in, I have, like, my heart pounds before a trial when it still says student is not here, or that there's no one in the classroom. The worst is the student choose yes. Even if they're not in the classroom, I know they're coming. That's a VIP kid joke. So if you haven't taught before, you'll know what it means when you start teaching for them. Um, I have a lot of anxiety before trials with new students because I don't know who they are and I don't know how to teach them yet. I'll figure it out for sure, but I'm still always worried about it. I will say the one-on-one classes for me were a lot easier than the one-on-four classes because there's fewer kids, there's fewer people to talk to. And those one-on-four classes, I tried doing 5 classes in a row a few times. It was murder. At the end of the morning, I wanted to cry. It was just so much. And it could be just because teaching for magic years requires so much energy that I don't have because I am not a high energy person at all. Faking that high energy for 2.5 hours, plus all of the faces I had to see and remember and interact with, was very difficult. Can you be an introverted teacher and be successful in that high energy one-on-four platform? It's an, I mean, there are as many types of introverts as there are introverts. So possibly you would thrive in that because you have that separation of the computer screen between you and the 4 other people. For me, I don't know. I had a lot of trouble with it. I am currently about to enter another company that does a one-on-four platform, but they don't require high energy teachers. And I am so excited to talk about this company, but I can't yet. I'm just not ready to commit to talking about it yet. Okay, so yeah, that I didn't really want to make this video about all of the negative parts of being an introverted person teaching in online. So let's go to the positive things. What are the benefits of teaching online as an introvert? Number one, you don't have to meet with parents. You don't. You never do. Never. You type your feedback to the parents, but you don't have to talk to them on the phone. If they come into the classroom, that's about as close as you'll ever come to a parent teacher conference. You don't have to sit there on parent teacher night waiting for the parents to come in and ask you why you failed their kid. You don't have to worry about that, and that was a huge relief for me. You also don't have to meet with colleagues. But if you want to, you can meet with them in person if you have them in your area in small doses, which, I can deal with people in small doses. Again, I'm not exactly I'm a little bit of a misanthrope. I am. But you can meet with them behind the comfort of social media. And I have a lot of trouble personally with private messages. I'm not very good at talking with people on private message, but I can do like threads in a Facebook group. The VIP kid groups have kept me sane a lot of the time. So I like that I have that comfort of social media. And when I am done with the conversation, unfollow. That's it. Hopefully no one tags me back in because whenever I see someone mention me in a comment, I want to die a little bit. Because I don't know what's on the other side of that comment until I click on it. Also, what was I going to say? I had something else to say about that. Oh, yeah. I mean, being an introvert is part of it. I also have some other neurodiversities that I'm not quite ready to talk about yet, but that also makes online teaching and human interaction in general very difficult for me. Maybe one day I'll open up about it, but right now I'm just not there. But yeah, this is my experience as an online introverted teacher. I also want to say if you have found an introverted student that you can draw out of their shell, that's an amazing connection to have. It's an amazing feeling. I have a little girl. I have a little pre-VIP girl. Her name is Dudu. I've had her since her very first lesson with VIP Kid. She was very quiet. She gave me one word answers. I could tell she had a good English foundation because she would say things that like I would ask, what is this, what do you see, and she would answer me with words. So I knew she had the foundation, but she was just so quiet and so reserved. And after a few classes, she would open up and she would talk some more. And it was just so beautiful to watch her wings unfurl. And now I can't rein her in. I mean, she bounces off the wall. She shows me her My Little Ponies. She's like all over the place. And like, it's not like super high energy, like she's not really loud, but I love teaching this girl because I know like in her heart she's very similar to me, excited but reserved. So I've made a really good connection with her, and having those connections with students can be beautiful. I also want to add that if this is your full-time job, or if this is a main source of income for you when you are done with your teaching for the day, you can close your computer, go upstairs, grab a blanket because fall is coming, grab your cat, sit down, and binge on Netflix all morning. What introvert doesn't love doing that? That's like the perfect evening for me. The perfect evening. So, can you be an introverted teacher? Yes, you can. Is it hard? For a while. Yeah, I'm at a point now where I am so comfortable with the VIP kid lessons that I can go into any class and teach any student. Does that mean that I don't have anxiety? No, I do. Every time I have to meet a new student or every trial class, I'm so worried because I don't know what's going to be on the other side of that camera. But I know the lessons and I know how to teach them. So for the first couple dozen lessons, maybe the first 100 classes, it can be very difficult because not only are you talking to a person, but you're dealing with your plethora of props and reward systems and juggling all of these things, trying to drink on camera where the parents can't see you. Excuse me, sorry. I needed that water opportunity. So yeah, once you get comfortable with the lessons, it becomes much easier, but it is very difficult at first. So if you're a new teacher and you're still struggling with this, give it time. You'll get used to it. I am struggling with this with Gogokid right now because I'm not quite there with the lessons yet. I'm not quite to the point where I'm comfortable enough with the lessons that I can just go in and teach one. I do have to prepare for them and get ready for them. And I'm glad that I do have a couple of regulars, so I know what I'm getting when I go into the classroom, but mostly I'm teaching trial students. I'm always very relieved when my trials are marked student no-show, like the one I'm missing right now. Had a panic for a moment that I thought it hadn't actually canceled. But yeah, you'll get used to it, and yeah, you'll still be an introvert, and yes, it'll still be draining, but teaching the classes will come easier to you. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments or shoot me an email. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribing to my channel helps me out a ton. I love it when you give me a thumbs up. When you give me a thumbs down, just let me know. Just lets me know how you feel about the content. And I appreciate every interaction that I have with my viewers. If you have any questions about applying, please feel free to give me an email, and I am happy to talk more in depth about my experiences that I may have left out in here. I don't know. I'm just rambling during a student no show. All right, everybody. Happy teaching or good luck applying.